Hello from Mindset Daily, wishing you a day full of health, peace, and happiness. Thank you for watching the Mindset Daily channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Thank you so much.
Have you ever noticed how some people walk through life as if they already know the outcome? They appear calm, certain, and unshaken. What if you could carry yourself the same way? Imagine the shift it would create. There's a strange power in acting as if you've been there before, because the moment you do, everything around you starts to respond differently. In just moments, you'll see how this mindset transforms the way you speak, lead, and carry yourself. It improves your cycle of confidence, because every great master was once a beginner who chose to act as if they already belonged. That's the real challenge before you, stepping forward with the quiet certainty of someone who has already won. Once you adopt this mindset, momentum builds. You radiate confidence, and others reflect it back, strengthening your belief even more. Your subconscious doesn't separate real experience from vividly imagined action. It responds to the certainty you project. That's why this principle has the power to reshape your entire reality. Your mind begins to operate at a higher level, narrowing the distance between who you are and who you want to become. To act as if is not pretending. It's rehearsing for the role you were born to play. It means adopting the habits, decisions, and presence of your future self until they become your present identity. This is exactly what Thomas Edison embodied before inventing the phonograph in 1877. He had never built such a device. No one had. Yet he worked with the steady confidence of an experienced inventor, step by step, as if success were inevitable. That mindset became a prophecy he fulfilled with his own hands. You have this same ability within you. Transform your life today by standing tall, speaking with authority, and moving with purpose, not waiting for confidence to arrive, but acting as if it already flows through your veins. Let your eyes, your voice, and your movements project certainty. Make decisions with the assurance of someone who knows the way forward. Your body will respond to these commands, and your mind will rise to meet the state you create. As Hebrews 11 verse 1 reminds us, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This truth reveals exactly what Edison lived out, acting with complete certainty before any proof existed. Your faith becomes the bridge that carries invisible dreams into tangible reality. The chains holding you back were never placed by others. They were forged in your own mind, link by link, every time you whispered, "I can't, I'm not ready, I'm not qualified." Those words may seem harmless, but they become iron bars around your potential. The truth is, those limits are not real. They are agreements you've made with yourself. Today is the day to break them. Every act of self-doubt strengthens a cage only you can unlock, but the key is in your hands. By acting as if you've already succeeded, by speaking and moving as someone who has already won, you begin to dismantle the prison of hesitation. This isn't about pretending or deceiving others. It's about reprogramming your own mind to stop bargaining with fear. Your potential isn't bound by your past. Your current performance isn't a ceiling, it's a floor. Beneath your doubts and habits lies a reservoir of genius, dormant yet waiting to be awakened. The true tragedy is not in trying and failing. It's in aiming so low that the power within you never awakens. Confidence doesn't come from getting everything right. It comes from moving forward despite uncertainty and realizing you are far more capable than you believed. The idea that you're not good enough, not ready, or not experienced is nothing more than a lie you've told yourself so often that it began to sound like truth. But those are only temporary agreements, not unshakable laws. Every expert started as a beginner. Every skill that feels impossible today can be mastered through time, focus, and belief. Belief is the seed. Practice is the soil, repetition is the sunlight. Nurture the right inner environment, and growth becomes inevitable. Look at Henry Ford. His formal education was limited, yet his vision reshaped the world. In 1932, when he demanded an engine design that engineers called impossible, he refused to waver. He insisted they continue, holding firmly to the belief that it could be done. For months they failed, but Ford's certainty never shook. His mind was already on the other side of the problem. That posture, acting with the assurance of success, was the catalyst. Eventually, the impossible became reality. He acted as if, and that as if became is. Now ask yourself, what belief have you held onto that silently strangles your ambition? Name it, confront it, then flip it. Write down its opposite and speak it aloud until your mind accepts it without hesitation. Let your actions follow. If you've said, "I'm not a leader," declare, "I lead with clarity and strength." If you've whispered, "I don't have what it takes," affirm, "I am more than enough." Then act in harmony with that new truth, because action shapes identity. One bold step creates evidence that rewrites your mental script. Let this truth settle deep within. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This isn't only spiritual encouragement. It's a declaration of access to unlimited strength. A reminder that within you lies a power untouched by fear, failure, or the past. Millions have broken lifelong limitations by standing on this verse, not as wishful thinking, but as certainty. So today, stop negotiating with your limits. Confront every thought that tries to chain you to the past. Speak with conviction, act with boldness, and walk forward as if success were inevitable. Because when belief is strong enough, it often becomes reality. When you act decisively, as though you've already traveled the path, you radiate a rare and magnetic energy. In a world dominated by hesitation, certainty shines like a beacon. People naturally gravitate toward those who seem to know where they're going, even if the journey is still unfolding. This begins a powerful loop. Your decisive actions attract allies, resources, and opportunities. Those external forces then fuel and amplify your progress, helping you reach results far greater than hesitation ever could. The truth is, history's most successful people weren't born fearless. They trained themselves to act in spite of doubt. They moved when others froze. They leaned into the unknown with faith instead of retreating into endless analysis. What set them apart was not supernatural confidence, but the deliberate choice to keep moving. With each step, they built a stronger identity. I am someone who moves. I am someone who acts. And here lies the secret. Motion creates momentum. The very moment you take a step forward, no matter how uncertain you feel, you ignite a chain of events that propels you further. Acting as if you've done it before breaks the cycle of fear and overthinking. You shift from the crowd of spectators, those who wait, wish, and wonder, into the realm of doers. And the world always rewards those who act. Opportunity is pulled toward motion like gravity, while hesitation only breeds confusion and decay. This principle was vividly demonstrated in the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. In the 1790s, as a young and relatively unknown general, Napoleon often faced enemies who greatly outnumbered him. Yet he mastered one critical force: decisive confidence. He moved with such authority that opposing generals believed he commanded far more troops than he actually had. His soldiers, inspired by his unshakable presence, fought harder, faster, and with greater courage. Napoleon's unwavering belief in victory, expressed through immediate action, created a psychological edge more powerful than numbers. That same power is available to you. Your energy influences others more deeply than your words ever could. Move with confidence, and those around you will rise to meet it. Train yourself to make decisions faster than feels comfortable. Release the need for perfect information. You'll never have all the facts. Trust your intuition, the quiet wisdom of your subconscious, shaped by years of experience and insight. When the world hesitates, you execute. When others waver, you advance. This ability to act quickly and with conviction becomes your unique advantage, the trait that sets you apart in a sea of indecision. Your pace becomes your path. In business, in relationships, and in life, speed with intention always wins. While others pause to study the map, you are already halfway up the mountain. As you move forward, paths hidden to the stagnant begin to appear. Clarity doesn't come before movement, it follows it. Anchor your focus in divine wisdom. Let your eyes look straight ahead, your gaze fixed directly before you. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your feet from evil, as Proverbs 4 verses 25 to 27 reminds us. This timeless truth reveals that power flows from focus. Distraction is the thief of direction. When you commit to forward motion with your eyes locked on the horizon, the noise fades, doubt loosens its grip, and the once invisible path becomes clear. So step forward today, not with reckless haste, but with sacred decisiveness. Act not because you are certain of every outcome, but because you know inaction is no longer an option. Let others hesitate and ponder. You lead, you move, you advance, and the world reshapes itself around the boldness of your steps. The mental transformation begins here. The conversations you have with yourself are not small things. They are the architects of your destiny, more than any external influence. It is your inner dialogue that charts the course of your future. The thoughts you entertain, the words you repeat, the tone in which you speak to yourself. All of these shape your identity, fuel your emotions, and guide every decision you make. When you act as if you've already accomplished something, when you carry yourself with the calm assurance of mastery, you interrupt the damaging cycles of doubt that have lived in your mind for years. This shift rewires your neural pathways, creating a self-reinforcing loop. Confident self-talk drives effective action, which leads to real success, which in turn strengthens even more powerful inner dialogue. Most people stay chained to internal scripts they never consciously chose. Messages absorbed in childhood, like "you're not good enough," "don't stand out," or "play it safe," become background noise so constant we mistake it for truth. These limiting beliefs, once perhaps useful for acceptance, eventually harden into prisons of mediocrity. But they are not permanent. They can be identified, challenged, and replaced through disciplined mental effort. It begins by rewriting the script. Speak to yourself not as the person you've been, but as the one you are becoming. When you talk to yourself like someone who has already succeeded, you align with the mindset that makes success inevitable. This is not about delusion, it's about direction. You are not lying to yourself. You are training yourself. Just as athletes visualize victory before stepping into the arena, you must mentally rehearse winning before it becomes visible. Replace "maybe I can" with "I was made for this." Erase "I'm not ready" and declare "I am rising to this challenge." But make no mistake, this mental reframing requires relentless vigilance. You must watch your thoughts like a hawk scanning the skies. Self-defeating beliefs are cunning, disguising themselves as logic, humility, or caution. When one appears, "What if I fail?" you must intercept it instantly with, "What if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams?" Never let fear linger unchallenged. The brain believes what it hears most, so fill it with visions of success until those images become second nature. This is not fantasy, it is focus. It's the deliberate act of programming your mind for power, not paralysis. Few people embodied this principle more than Andrew Carnegie. Born into crushing poverty in Dunfermline, Scotland, he arrived in America with almost nothing. From a young age, Carnegie chose to speak, walk, and think like someone destined for greatness. Even as a messenger boy earning only a few dollars a week, he carried himself with the poise and language of the elite. That inner posture shaped an outer perception that opened doors long before wealth arrived. People did not respond to his poverty. They responded to the invisible confidence he carried. That unseen posture, born from disciplined, self-directed thought, eventually manifested into a tangible empire. His rise was not luck. It was a self-created identity made real. You must do the same. Record empowering statements in your own voice. "I am strong. I am focused. I am relentless." Listen to them daily. Create a personal creed that defines not only what you do, but who you are. Speak it aloud each morning until your subconscious accepts it as fact. Remove hesitation from your vocabulary. "I'll try" becomes "I will." "I hope" becomes "I know." Speak life into your actions. Program your nervous system for excellence by transforming your inner language. As it is written, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." This is more than poetic. It is both scientific and spiritual truth. You do not become what you merely wish for. You become what you believe. The world around you is shaped by the world within you. Andrew Carnegie didn't wait for the world to approve of him. He created his world through an unshakable self-image. You can do the same. The challenge before you is simple yet radical. Master your internal dialogue. Speak only what empowers, believe only what elevates, and act as if the outcome has already been written in your favor. When you do, your thoughts stop being mere hopes. They become blueprints. Your words are no longer empty noise. They turn into commands. And your mind, once an obstacle, becomes your most loyal architect of destiny. Your body plays a vital role in this process. It doesn't just reflect your mental state, it actively creates it. Every gesture, every posture, every breath is a command to your nervous system. When you carry yourself as though you've already mastered a skill, something powerful happens. Your body tells your brain, "This is who I am," and your brain listens. This isn't metaphor, it's biochemistry. Standing tall, moving with intention, and holding a strong posture can shift your hormones within minutes. Testosterone rises, while cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Confidence isn't just felt, it's triggered, reinforced, and sustained through your physiology. The link between body and mind cannot be overstated. Science now confirms what leaders, warriors, and performers have known for centuries. Your body is not just a passenger on the road to success, it is a co-pilot. When you stand upright, hold eye contact, speak clearly, and walk with purpose, you signal both to yourself and to the world that you are in control. These actions influence the very chemistry that shapes how you think, feel, and perform. It's not about pretending, it's about embodying. Master the art of carrying success before it fully arrives. Practice the posture of confidence until it becomes muscle memory. Walk, speak, and move like the person you aspire to be. Your handshake, your stride, your voice. None of these are random. Your body is an instrument that can either amplify your greatness or dull your impact. Train it, refine it, use it with intention. Begin with your walk. How would someone who has already achieved your goals enter a room? Slow down, take up space. Let every step be deliberate. Then adjust your posture. Straighten your spine, release the tension in your jaw, and open your chest. These small changes send signals of strength and calm to your subconscious. Next, refine your tone of voice. Speak a little slower. Emphasize the words that matter most. Eliminate filler phrases that weaken your authority. Practice greeting others with steady eye contact and conviction. These micro-adjustments are the foundation of an unshakable identity. Olympic champion Jesse Owens embodied this principle at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Standing before Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime, under immense pressure, Owens carried himself with the poise of a king. As he approached the starting line, he moved as if he owned it. Watch the footage and you'll see it. The stillness, the focus, the deliberate ritual before each race. This was no accident. Owens had trained his body to feel victory before the gun ever fired. He visualized the outcome, breathed like a winner, and stood like a winner. And when the moment came, his body delivered the performance his mind had already accepted as truth. Your body is the stage where your mind's beliefs play out. It either reinforces your inner power or sabotages it. You can begin right now. Straighten your spine, pull back your shoulders, lift your chest, breathe deeply. Inhale confidence, and exhale hesitation. Walk through your environment as if opportunity is watching, because it is. Your physical presence broadcasts your identity, and people read it long before you speak. Extend this awareness to your voice. Slow your pace. Embrace pauses. They add weight, create power, and make your words more intentional. A confident voice doesn't rush. It commands attention through clarity, resonance, and poise. These qualities aren't reserved for the elite. They are choices you can make every day in every interaction. As the Apostle Paul once wrote, "I discipline my body and bring it into subjection." He knew the body is not just a vessel, it is a tool of purpose. True mastery requires not only spiritual or intellectual strength, but physical discipline. Control over your posture, your breath, and your movement is not cosmetic, it is sacred. It aligns your outer reality with your inner vision. So take command of your body today, not someday. Your cells are listening to the story your body tells. Make sure it's a story of triumph, strength, and clarity. Walk like the person you are becoming. Speak like the leader already within you. Stand like the champion whose victory is inevitable. Because the body you discipline now will carry your mind to greatness tomorrow. And remember, transformation does not happen in isolation. Surround yourself with allies who see not only who you are, but who you are becoming. Human potential is amplified in community. When you act as if you've already succeeded in the company of supportive people, you enter a feedback loop of empowerment. Their belief in you strengthens your self-image. That renewed confidence fuels your performance, and your improved performance reinforces their belief. This cycle creates momentum that becomes almost unstoppable. The people closest to you define what you see as normal. The expectations, habits, and mindset of those around you quietly shape your own behavior. Spend too much time with people who complain, settle, or avoid challenges, and you'll eventually find yourself doing the same. But surround yourself with those who dream big, take bold action, and refuse to live small, and their standard becomes your standard. You begin to internalize their confidence, resilience, and ambition. Without even realizing it, you absorb their vocabulary, their routines, and their mindset. Their world becomes your world through the power of association. That's why you must find at least 2 people who share your hunger for growth, excellence, and contribution. Meet with them regularly, not casually, but with purpose. Exchange insights, set challenges, hold one another accountable, and celebrate progress. The combined energy of even a small group, when focused, multiplies your momentum. Ideas evolve faster. Courage grows stronger. Breakthroughs arrive sooner. Together, you will go further and faster than you ever could alone. History offers powerful proof of this principle. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Harvey Firestone, and other titans of the early 20th century formed a mastermind group that met regularly. These weren't casual conversations. They were dynamic sessions of innovation, challenge, and refinement. Together, they fueled the Industrial Revolution. They pushed one another higher, believed in one another, and elevated each other's vision. Most importantly, each man acted as if he belonged at that table. That confidence became self-fulfilling. The very act of association created identity. In their presence, greatness was not just possible, it was expected. Your life is no different. Start by identifying the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. Audit their influence. Do they lift your vision higher? Or do they quietly erode it? Do they fuel your ambition or drain it? Then make a deliberate choice. Seek out those who represent the future you want to build. This could mean joining professional groups, volunteering with purpose-driven organizations, or investing in mentorship. Seek out coaches who have already achieved what you aim to do. Don't leave your environment to chance. Proximity is power. Place yourself where growth is expected and excellence is the standard. This principle is not just psychological, it is spiritual. As Proverbs 27 verse 17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." This truth reveals a universal law of human development. We are shaped in relationship. Alone, we stagnate. In the company of the right people, we are refined, strengthened, and made more effective. The right relationships demand your best and help you deliver it. They see your potential and call it out until you rise to meet it. Every interaction either sharpens you or dulls you. That's why your circle is not a detail. It's a destiny-defining decision. Choose people who remind you of your greatness when you forget. Choose those who challenge you when you hesitate. Choose those who celebrate your growth, not your comfort. Surround yourself with people who believe your best days are ahead and will fight with you to reach them. Start today. Call one person who inspires you and set a time to speak with intention. Attend an event where leaders gather. Join a virtual community of high performers. Create your own mastermind if one doesn't exist. Don't wait for the perfect group. Transformation doesn't happen in isolation. It thrives in ecosystems of belief, accountability, and shared purpose. Just as the great minds of history forged their futures in community, so must you. Refuse to walk this journey alone. Act as if you already belong among greatness, and soon, you will. Daily dedication is the next step. Acting as if you've done something before is not merely a mindset. It's a muscle that must be strengthened each day. The illusion many believe is that confidence comes first and then action follows. In reality, it is consistent, aligned action that builds confidence brick by brick. Every small choice to engage with your craft, every effort to reinforce your vision through practice, is a declaration of who you are becoming. Over time, these daily decisions create a powerful compound effect. Discipline builds skill, skill builds confidence, and confidence fuels even greater commitment. Greatness is not born from bursts of inspiration. It is forged in the unseen hours, when no one is watching, when applause is absent, and when your only motivation is the vision of your future self. The difference between the amateur and the professional is rarely talent. It is the willingness to engage in deliberate daily practice. It is the discipline to act in alignment with your goals, especially on days when motivation feels absent. This relentless consistency reshapes your identity, moving you from hope to embodiment. To act as if is to train your mind, body, and spirit to operate at a higher level than your current circumstances may justify. This training is carried out through non-negotiable daily rituals. These rituals are not random, they are sacred. They are your commitment made physical. Begin each morning with visualization. See yourself succeeding, performing, and achieving. Then, breathe life into your goals with affirmations spoken aloud, filled with conviction. Study the masters of your field. Observe what they did daily and mirror their discipline. Then practice the fundamentals over and over again until they set you apart. The legendary pianist Arthur Rubinstein lived this principle with astonishing dedication, maintaining a rigorous daily practice regimen. Even in his 80s, Rubinstein could be found at the piano, repeating difficult passages hundreds of times until they became second nature. His playing appeared effortless, not because it was natural, but because it was forged through sweat, solitude, and the pursuit of perfection. Long before he stood on the world's grandest stages, he trained with the focus of a man who had already achieved greatness. That is the essence of acting as if. You don't wait to be great. You live as though greatness is already within you. Your life is no different. Your habits are daily declarations. When you rise an hour earlier than necessary and dedicate that time to growth, whether reading, exercising, or honing your craft, you are broadcasting your identity to the universe. That early hour becomes your fortress. In that quiet space before the world makes its demands, you program your mind for success. You strengthen your body to carry the weight of your dreams. You prepare your craft for the moment opportunity arrives. Let your morning routine be non-negotiable. Begin with breath work or meditation to anchor your spirit. Speak your goals aloud with energy. Visualize your performance vividly and feel it as if it's already real. Then move your body. Train with intensity. Finally, consume wisdom. Read books, listen to lectures, study strategies. Align every step of your morning ritual with the person you are becoming. These small daily improvements may not feel dramatic in the moment, but over time they compound, transforming you into someone unrecognizable to your former self. This principle is ancient and timeless. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 16 verse 10. The way you handle the unseen, the uncelebrated, and the everyday disciplines is a preview of how you will handle greater responsibility. Rubinstein was not born into mastery. He earned it through years of faithfulness to the process. In the same way, your commitment to the small becomes the foundation of your greatness. So don't wait for motivation and don't wait for recognition. Rise early, work deliberately, and repeat daily. Let your habits speak louder than your words. Act as if you've already arrived, and one day you'll realize you have. The next principle is strategic modeling. The fastest path to mastery is rarely built on trial and error alone. It comes from following in the footsteps of those who have already conquered the terrain. By systematically borrowing the methods, habits, and thought patterns of masters, you create powerful momentum. Results improve quickly, and those early wins build confidence. With greater belief in your abilities, you gain the courage to innovate, refine, and eventually surpass the very models you once studied. The journey from imitation to innovation does not begin with resisting influence, but with intentional and respectful emulation. Nearly every great achiever started as a student of someone else's brilliance. This is not mindless copying, it is strategic modeling. It means standing on the shoulders of giants to see farther, faster. The beginner who imitates wisely can absorb decades of experience in a fraction of the time, bending the learning curve sharply upward. What might take years through scattered experimentation can be compressed into months through focused modeling. The paradox is that originality often springs from imitation done with care. Study the morning rituals of your heroes. How do they begin their days? What do they read, think, or practice before the world awakes? Examine their decision-making frameworks. How do they prioritize, handle stress, and manage uncertainty? Learn their systems of time management. What do they say yes to? And more importantly, what do they refuse? Observe how they solve problems, how they speak, how they carry themselves. Success leaves clues. and those clues become your playbook. In the early stages of growth, resist the temptation to customize too soon. The apprentice follows the recipe, only the master experiments. Adopt the strategies of your chosen role models with full commitment before trying to make them your own. Let their routines serve as your training ground. Through practice and repetition, their methods will integrate into your nervous system. One day, without forcing it, they will evolve into something uniquely yours. Pablo Picasso embodied this principle of modeling with perfection. Long before he disrupted the art world with cubism and became a symbol of radical creativity, he was a disciplined student of the classics. Picasso first mastered the rigorous academic techniques of traditional European art. He painted realism with precision, then spent years studying the styles of great masters, absorbing their brushwork, their themes, and their techniques. He famously said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal," not to glorify plagiarism, but to stress the depth of understanding required to make another's method truly one's own. His genius was not born in rebellion against tradition, but in the complete mastery of it. Innovation was the reward for discipline. Your path to authentic excellence will look much the same. Identify 3 individuals who represent your highest aspirations. Study them deeply, read their biographies, take notes on their routines, their habits, and their mindset. Then begin to implement their practices. At first, it may feel unnatural, as if you're wearing someone else's clothes. But with time and repetition, the practices will begin to fit. They will shape your identity. You won't lose yourself in this process. Instead, you'll discover hidden parts of yourself that only discipline can awaken. Modeling does not make you a clone, it gives you structure. It provides a foundation strong enough to support the weight of your creativity. Just as an architect must first master geometry before designing breathtaking buildings, you must master the fundamentals before attempting to innovate. The Apostle Paul understood this principle when he said, "Follow my example, as I follow the example of Christ." 1 Corinthians 11 verse 1. This was not a call to blind imitation, but to wise alignment with a proven path. Just as Picasso built upon the mastery of those who came before him, you too must lay your foundation by walking in the footsteps of those who have already reached the destination you desire. In time, you will outgrow the models. Your own voice will emerge. Your unique blend of experience, insight, and discipline will give birth to originality. But you cannot bypass the apprenticeship. True creativity grows from the soil of imitation. Honor the path. Embrace the process. Study the greats until their greatness becomes part of you. Then, and only then, create what only you can create. The next principle is vision commitment. Acting as if you've already achieved something doesn't start with external behavior. It begins with inner clarity. It starts with seeing the outcome before it exists and holding that vision with such vivid intensity that obstacles lose their power. The most transformative force you possess is your imagination. Focus not on fantasy, but on deliberate creation. When you consistently visualize your desired outcome despite evidence to the contrary, you activate a powerful loop. Clear mental pictures guide your actions, effective actions produce results, and those results reinforce the vision that inspired them. This is the virtuous circle of vision. The most successful individuals in history, visionaries, inventors, artists, leaders, all shared the rare ability to see their future reality with unwavering focus. They were not immune to failure, rejection, or ridicule, but they trained their minds to treat setbacks like passing clouds before a blazing sun. This discipline transforms what seems impossible into something that simply hasn't happened yet. The more vivid and emotionally charged your inner picture, the greater its power to shape the world around you. Visualization is not passive daydreaming. It is active programming, a rehearsal for greatness. Spend a few minutes each morning and night in focused mental cinema. See yourself performing at your highest level. Hear the applause. Feel the emotion. Experience the victory. Make your mental movie so compelling that it feels more real to your nervous system than your present reality. Once your subconscious accepts this vision as truth, it begins to adjust your thoughts, words, and actions in alignment. These small shifts accumulate. Action follows belief, and belief grows stronger with every vivid image you create. Walt Disney himself faced financial ruin, skepticism, and countless obstacles. Yet his vision was so specific, so detailed, that he could stand on barren land and describe exactly what would one day rise there. While others saw only dirt and failure, he saw castles, parades, and children laughing. Investors mocked Disneyland as a foolish fantasy, but he persisted. He acted as if the park already existed, narrating its layout, its themes, and its experiences. His belief was so contagious that, in time, others began to see what he saw. Disneyland opened in 1955 and forever transformed entertainment. It was not luck, it was vision brought to life through conviction. You hold the same power within you. Build your inner world with intention. Create a vision board filled with images that represent your dreams, places you want to go, experiences you seek, achievements you desire, relationships you long for. Look at it daily. Write your goals in the present tense, as if already achieved. I am earning. I have launched. I live. Speak them aloud each morning and evening with passion. Anchor these affirmations in your body by breathing deeply as you declare them. Let your vision feel so real inside that the outside world has no choice but to align with it. Just as vital, protect your vision. The world is full of critics and doubters. When others mock or question your goals, don't shrink them to fit someone else's comfort. Strengthen your conviction instead. Their doubt is not your truth. It never was. What matters is that you see it clearly. As the scripture says, write down the revelation and make it plain. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Habakkuk 2 verses 2-3. This divine instruction reflects what Disney and other visionaries lived by. Articulate your vision with clarity, record it with faith, and act in alignment with its inevitability. Delay is not denial. It is preparation. It is alignment. When the moment is right, your vision will take form. So hold the picture firm. Don't let setbacks blur it, or mockery diminish it. See it more clearly each day. Fuel it with emotion, move toward it with action, and speak it with authority. Act as if it is already done, because in the realm of belief, it already exists. And what is born in belief, when consistently honored, will eventually become reality. The next principle is the bold beginning. The greatest secret of achievement is starting before you feel ready. That first uncertain step, taken as if you know exactly where you're going, creates powerful momentum. Action always generates feedback. Feedback creates learning, and learning builds true competence. Yet most people wait for confidence before starting, not realizing that confidence only comes through action. This paradox keeps millions stuck in endless preparation. Masters understand that you build the bridge while walking on it. Progress comes through direct engagement, not endless planning. Take imperfect action now. Accept the awkwardness of being a beginner, knowing it's only temporary. Every expert you admire once looked clumsy in their first attempts. The difference is their willingness to endure discomfort while carrying themselves as if mastery was already on the horizon. Consider Colonel Harlan Sanders. At age 65, after multiple failed ventures, he traveled across America with a pressure cooker and a secret spice blend, cooking chicken for restaurant owners. He faced over 1,000 rejections before one finally said yes to his Kentucky Fried Chicken idea. Without certainty of success, he pressed forward methodically, acting as though building a restaurant empire was simply a matter of executing each step. He made countless mistakes, but he held the posture of someone destined for success. That balance of humble learning and confident execution is what defines all great achievers. Your willingness to start before you feel ready is the line that separates dreamers from doers. Begin today with one small, concrete step toward your vision. Announce your intention publicly to create accountability. Set a clear deadline for your first milestone. Embrace mistakes as essential lessons rather than proof of inadequacy. Forward motion, however imperfect, generates momentum strong enough to overcome resistance. Start before you feel ready, and readiness will meet you along the way. As Ecclesiastes 11 verse 4 says, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." This timeless wisdom reminds us that perfect conditions never arrive. Just as Sanders refused to let age or rejection stop him, true achievement belongs to those who begin in spite of uncertainty, not those who wait until every doubt disappears. So take the step today. Wishing you health, happiness, and remember to subscribe to my channel, Mindset Daily.